Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is going to be about your solar plexus. So with the solar plexus chakra, this is your third chakra, this is the yellow chakra, this is tied to your id or your sense of self. This has to do with your conscious awareness. This has to do with your identity. This has to do with a lot of major things for you. This has to basically, it involves your sense of self, it involves your self-esteem, it involves your willpower, all of those good things. So if you are struggling with stamina, if you're struggling with judging others too harshly or a desire for control, if you feel imbalanced when it comes to your self-esteem or your just inner power, your inner strength, then your chances are your solar plexus chakra is blocked or it's too wide open. So there are two kind of opposite ends of the spectrum here when it comes to your solar plexus being too wide open or too closed. Sometimes that can be narcissistic tendency leaning, and other times that can be too empathic leaning. So, in one instance, and for those with narcissistic traits, which we all have narcissism, it's not just a one person personality disorder. It's all of us carry aspects and traits of narcissism. That's just tied to our ego. That's just how it is. But all of us are also capable of having empathic qualities as well. So the goal is to essentially align your empathic and your narcissistic side in a happy medium. I almost think of it as like a yin and yang, your divine feminine, your divine masculine. Not that either one of those are tied to either specific thing, but it just helps you visualize they're two parts of the whole. So that is our ego, that is our identity, which is developed to help us grow and help us to survive, essentially. So if you feel like you have a desire to control others, or if you're maybe there's like a looming judgment happening, if you feel like you're suffering from low self-esteem, your sense of self is just lacking, those are more so the narcissistic traits, because narcissism, those with narcissistic tendencies tend to have no true sense of self, because they typically are stuck in a state of victimhood, of lacking almost a sense of powerlessness, like they're lacking an ability, they feel like they're lacking an ability to make decisions in their life and put themselves on a trajectory that they want to go towards. But we all do have control of our destiny for the most part. There is free will. We all are able to change if we put in the time and the work and the effort. It is not necessarily easy, but it is a capability we all have. So if you feel like you're helpless and you feel like you're kind of stuck in this victim state, this victim mentality, this video is for you. If you're on the opposite end of the spectrum there and you know, maybe feel like you're an overgiver, you give so much to other people and you lack those boundaries, then you're probably more so leaning on the empathic side. And both of those empathic traits and narcissistic traits have the same sort of outcome, because an overgiver will still be lacking something, and an overreceiver is still lacking something. So, you know, a narcissist takes, and it's never enough. An overgiver gives, and it's never enough. So at the center, they both have the same core wounds, and typically that's stemming from the solar plexus chakra, because it's that lack of sense of self, it's that lack of boundaries, it's that lack of awareness, it's the lack of knowing yourself. So that's why I'm here to help you today, and hopefully that's why you clicked on this video, and hopefully something in here will resonate and help you. There are a couple tricks that I have to help you kind of align your chakra and align yourself. A lot of them are mostly holistic remedies, and it's going to be stuff that I've already talked about in the other chakra videos before. So if you've not looked into those, please give those a watch or like and subscribe, because it helps my channel grow. So if you're living in a state of anxiety, that is basically the fear of the unknown, is what the state of anxiety is. Now, if you're living in a state of regret, that's the fear of the past. So with the solar plexus here, it's kind of, you have to also find the fine line of like living in the now. So make sure you're showing gratitude and awareness and taking accountability for all of your past actions that have led you to this point, which is easier said than done, I'm aware. But I do feel like having an attitude of gratitude for the trials, the tribulations, for the good times, for the bad times, for all of it, is going to get you a lot farther. And it's also going to help you build the solid foundation of understanding and knowing that everything happens for purpose and reason, even if you may not be able to see it in the short term. In the long term, I feel like eventually it will probably make a lot of sense for you. And if you're going through a dark night of the soul, you're going to have these ebbs and flows of these roller coaster rides of emotions, and you're going to feel powerless, and you're going to feel like, why is this happening to me? But ultimately, it's happening for you, and there is a lesson in it, whatever you're going through. Like, everything is either a lesson or a blessing, and sometimes you might find that they're both. So, a positive way to help you balance your solar plexus is through meditation. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't meditate, I can't sit still for that long. Okay, that's fine. I have other things. So there's also fire gazing or flame gazing. That's almost like an EMDR type of thing. And that can help you basically get into this like transcendental state where it also connects to your third eye. It can help your third eye open as well, but it also can help your solar plexus align too, because you're putting yourself in almost this like basically a meditative state. And you can also do this through music. You could do this through binaural beats, through solfeggio frequencies. There are specific ranges of frequency if you really want to tap into a certain hertz. For the solar plexus, you might have to Google it because I can't remember off the top of my head what frequency it is for that, but colors are frequencies. So if you want to tap into the solar plexus, which is the yellow color essentially, you can type in that and find music that will resonate with you, and it's kind of an alternative to meditation. There's also deep breathing practices that you can do, such as Wim Hof breathing. There's also ice baths that you can do that are also very trauma releasing. It will help you get rid of some of that anxiety and some of that regret as well. Sometimes we just need to do something to get our minds off of that, and channeling that energy into some sort of helpful, healthy practice, such as yoga or meditation or Wim Hof, or there's box breathing. There's there's a lot of things. Those things can help. And then there's crystals that you can use. There's jasper. There is yellow topaz, yellow tourmaline, citrine, moonstone. Basically, even just wearing yellows and doing the visualization process that I talked about in the other videos when it comes to the solar plexus, and having like a yellow light or a gold light channel in through your crown chakra and just like consume your body, take over. You're just visualizing this light, and it's not obviously a real light, but it's your connection coming in. So you're visualizing this yellow light just taking over your body and helping to heal that chakra. And even just setting the intention of like, okay, today my goal is to help heal my solar plexus, because I don't want to be so narcissistic when it comes to this situation at work. I don't want to be so narcissistic or judgmental when it comes to this friendship. Like, how can I help align myself? And I feel like if you catch yourself in these maybe intrusive thoughts of judgment or intrusive thoughts of victimhood, then you almost have to flip the script in your brain, and you're going to train yourself essentially to perceive it in the opposite way. If you're typically a pessimist, then you're going to want to see it in an optimist perspective. And if you're an optimist, then just keep doing what you're doing, because it's going to help you. So basically, we want to be less so narcissistic leaning, more so empathic, but not overly empathic where you're you're toxic and putting yourself in precarious situations. So the solar plexus also, it's tied to fire, which is our spark. It's our inner fire. It's basically our whole, not only ego, but it's our whole identity that's wrapped in the solar plexus here. So it is a vital chakra, and Ram is the sound that you can say if you do choose to meditate. You could say RAM, 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 and during meditation, and that will help because we all are energetic frequencies and vibrations, and when we speak, anything we speak goes out into the universe, and it's kind of like a boomerang effect. Even our thoughts act like that as well. So it's very important to maintain positive affirmations, positive thoughts, those sort of things. Your solar plexus is also tied to your like gut instinct. It's kind of tied to your internal knowing. So the more you align your chakras, the more you're gonna feel it in your gut that you're making a positive decision for yourself, or you're gonna sometimes feel the opposite where you're like, oh, that didn't feel right to me, why didn't that feel right? And that's your solar plexus talking. That is, something's out of balance there, and you have to listen to that intuition, because that's basically what it is. It's your instinct, it's your gut instinct, it's your intuition. And once you align your solar plexus, you're going to really tap into that good spot. So if you're having a really hard time with your solar plexus and you're like, I don't know, I can't tell, I always recommend Reiki. I think Reiki is a great thing to do. It is, again, it's like going to the gym. Once you start it, you're going to have to really commit yourself to following through. Again, visualization, wearing gold or yellow colors, gold or yellow jewelry can help also, and the crystals are very, very helpful as well. So if you feel like you are having low self-esteem and no sense of self, just putting yourself in a position where you can tell yourself positive affirmations, even if it's just the smallest thing, like, not only gratitude, but something you love about yourself that makes you different and stand out from others. Maybe it's the fact that you're a great friend, or the fact that you're inquisitive and you're watching this video and you have a thirst for knowledge that's insatiable. Like, these are positive affirmations you can tell yourself, like, that many people maybe won't have or don't share with you. So make sure you're putting yourself in a positive spin, and being empathetic with yourself as well. And then the last thing I have for you is if your root chakra, or sorry, if your solar plexus chakra is too wide open and you have like this looming anxiety, this looming regret, and you get into the state where you're in like panic attack mode, that's actually tied to your root chakra. So if you're overly anxious and you can't really control it and you're having panic attacks and those sorts of things, it's not actually tied to your ego at all. It's tied to, I think most people assume it is, but it's tied to your root chakra, because that's your fight or flight mechanism, which is your root chakra. So if you're curious about that, there's a video I have about root chakra and how you can balance that too. So if that resonates with you, please subscribe and you can go watch that video. If this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps my channel to grow, and I will have the next video all about the heart chakra posted for you shortly. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching.